Hello, everyone. My name is Keith Cook, and this is part two of the three-step process to forgiveness. Now, as men, we are told that we should keep our feelings inside. You know, do not show your emotions. Men are supposed to be strong. We're supposed to be the hero. We're supposed to be, that knight in shining armor. The challenge to men or women not showing their emotions is that whenever we interact with women, we are taking that pent up, repressed negative energy and sharing that part of ourselves with women, but that's really not our true selves. By suppressing our emotions, by suppressing our feelings, we could essentially detach ourselves from relationships, emotionally detach ourselves from relationships, or something worse, domestic violence, neither of which is conducive to finding solutions or positive, positively interacting. Now, before I met my coach, I had a lot of dreams, and the dream of being molested was a reoccurring dream, and it was by far the most vivid dream out of all the dreams that I had. So I asked my coach, you know, what to do. I was looking for an out because I was tired of having this dream. My coach suggested that I replace any negative thought with a positive thought. So after doing that for a period of time, a long period of time, I was able to let go of the hurt and pain that was tied to that particular event. Now, I want you to understand, I was very angry at God. I asked God a million times, how? Why did you allow this to happen to me? I was only 4 or 5 years old, and I never got an answer. Not until one day, I was 18 years old and a senior in high school. Once again, I decided to confide in someone about the event. I told an older female cousin. At one time or another, she and I and the person that molested me, all of us were at my grandmother's house, so she knew who he was. Now, the reason why I confided in my older cousin is because at the age of 18, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired of holding on to all that hatred, to that spite, to that guilt, to the embarrassment. I hadn't seen the person since the event. I didn't know whether or not the person was even alive. So me holding on to all that hurt and pain, especially if the person wasn't alive, was only hurting me. Even if the person was alive, me, my holding on to all that hurt and pain was only paining and hurting me. So I needed to let go so that I could allow something else into my life. Now, years later, my female cousin approached me. She was like, Keith, I saw such and such. He was in a wheelchair. He had been hit by a drunk driver. Whenever she told me that, my body went numb. I, the, again, I didn't want to hear anything negative about him. That I wanted to hear that he was helping others cope with mental, physical, sexual, or substance abuse. I wanted to hear that he was happily married with the family. I wanted to hear that he was doing well in whatever it was that he was doing. Anything positive. I didn't want to hear something negative. So when she shared that information with me, and that's the way I reacted, I knew then that I had forgiven him. I knew also that God had answered my question. God had made me aware of forgiveness. Even though I had to let go of all that hurt and pain, whenever I did and I allowed forgiveness into my heart, love, prosperity, abundance, the floodgates opened up for all this good to come into my life because I had let go of holding on to all the hate, to all the things that were not good. So whenever I allowed myself to let go of that hurt and pain, and I allowed the goodness to come into my life, that's what I experienced. And that's what I'm sharing with you today. You are going to have to make that decision to let go of all that hurt and pain so you can allow the goodness, the well being, the love, and prosperity that's natural to us to flow into your life. But you have got to allow, you have got to make that decision.